Welcome back to another beautiful slop morning with your favorite slop tuber, Techless. Today we have some shit to talk about where Asmongold's in a little bit of heat for a comment he made. And, I like to hold my, people who I admire, my friends, my coworkers, my colleagues, my acquaintances accountable for horrific shit that they may or may not have said after fully researching the idea. So before we get into what Asmongold said, I'm gonna need you to play you guys the context of this video, which is a clip from Piers Morgan Uncensored about a pretty heated topic in the world going on today. So let's get into it.
Come on, Piers, this is a man who rants about shark attacks, who talked about Arnold Palmer's penis at a rally, who did an impression of someone doing oral sex on a microphone at a rally. There's been
Who the fuck are we talking about?
no president like this. I hate George W. Bush, but I would put George Bush 100 times above Donald Trump in terms of intellectual and mental fitness for office. You cannot question any Democrats in...
If George Bush is smarter than Donald Trump, why is Donald Trump a billionaire?
Intellectual fitness for office when you have
He got more money, which means he more smarter.
supported this man, the most deranged man, your words, deranged, mad, nuts man, in office.
Just to be clear,
this is a man who couldn't find
problem.
Taiwan on a map with his life defense.
You know what's crazy? This shit like this makes me want to watch the news. That's what's fucked up. I like always tell myself I would never like watch the news. Shit like this, oh man, it's just PvP, bro. That's all news is. The news is PvP. It's good content.
Depended on it.
Mehdi, here's the problem. I'm afraid, listen, I like you, I respect you very much. You've built an amazing business with Zeteo. Congratulations.
Cap, what he's doing is he's trying to seem charitable. That way when he shits on him, it seems more legitimate. Masterful play, Piers Morgan. I will rarely ever say that after you got butt fucked by Fuentes. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Dude, the Piers Morgan interview with Nick Fuentes was fucking hilarious. Like some of the best content I've ever seen. So it seems here that you've come off as a misogynic racist, Nick Fuentes. Yeah, so? So fucking funny.
But one of the reasons Donald Trump got reelected is that you guys have got literally Trump derangement syndrome. It plays into his hands.
Facts.
I prefer to be more even-handed with him. I prefer to praise him when he deserves it, and I prefer to whack him when he doesn't.
Absolutely. I believe a lot of people suffer this for a lot of people. Tectone derangement syndrome is also an issue that's running rampant. The problem is with the internet these days is the fact that if somebody is hated by someone, they will never acknowledge any of the good that they do. And I don't think that people understand the damage they're doing to the whole sphere of communication, where if someone's bad, that means everything they always do is bad, because it promotes no growth on their end. It means there's no reason for them to change. And it also means that you're retarded, because if someone's always going to be the bad guy in your eyes, then, well, you're just stupid. And also, it doesn't incentivize them to change whatsoever if that's what you actually want, or you just want somebody to hate.
When you're so blindly enraged by everything, including silly jokes, he says, you're so deranged about it, actually, in the end, you managed to achieve the unthinkable.
It's actually crazy. I've nenever agreed with something Piers Morgan said until today.
Managed to help get Trump reelected.
Hold on.
He got reelected with a bigger majority.
Do I get to speak? So, hold on. Let's just deal with a couple of things. The reason he got re-elected, I would argue, is the media gave him a pass. People like you, I came on your show on the eve of his election, and you were telling me all sorts of things. Oh, don't call it.
The reason why Donald Trump won is because he went up against two women. And I'll be real, bro. You could reincarnate Hitler and put him in office against, or running for office against two women, and Hitler would win again, because ain't nobody want to see a woman in office, right? And that's just the uncomfortable truth, right? And you want proof of that? A Minecraft skeleton, Sleepy Joe, beat Donald Trump. Now, were the votes legitimate? That's up for you to decide.
A Nazi, don't call him a fascist. Meanwhile, we have masked thugs.
He's not a
pulling
Nazi.
American citizens off the street.
He's not a
shooting them in
Nazi.
cold blood.
He's not a
But
Nazi.
I was right about his fascism. You were wrong about his fascism. I was right that he would try and stay in office in 2021. You were wrong about that. His people are shooting Americans.
He didn't stay in office in 2021.
Everything that I said would happen in a second term.
He didn't stay in office.
I always love those words they like throwing around. He's a Nazi. He's a rapist. He's a fucking, a fascist. It's just so pathetic, bro. These are the words where I instantly just tune out on what you're saying. Generally, the moment you say Nazi, pedophile, grifter, I'm like, all right, yep, done. Brain off. I realize you're retarded.
And you said he was
He's not a
for that.
Nazi. and he's not a fascist.
Oh, my God. Piers, you, in January 2021, accused him of trying to stay in office. You said he sent an armed mob to the Capitol. You said he should be removed from office, never be president again. You changed your tune once he got back to the presidency. I get that. That's fine.
No.
I've been right about everything I've said about Trump. And as for being Trump derangement syndrome, it's the very opposite. Even I didn't think he'd be trying to start a war with Denmark. Even I didn't think he'd be shooting Americans in the street 14 months into his presidency. Even I didn't think he'd be this...
Can somebody send me footage of Donald Trump with a gun shooting a citizen in the street? I don't think I ever heard about that.
Corrupt on this level so openly. So in fact, he's been much worse than those of us who allegedly have TDSs. You have TDS, Piers. You have Trump denial syndrome. When I say to you, is Trump racist? You say, no, he's not racist, even though he calls Somalis low IQ, Piers.
That's because they are. Stating a fact, acknowledging per capita, does not make you racist. Somalians have an average IQ of 67. 6'7". The average retard has an IQ of 70. We'll pull that up later. So saying if the average IQ of your people is 67, below mental retardation, and then calling those people stupid is not racist. It's stating a fucking fact. And I'm sorry if facts upset your feelings.
Do you agree that Somali people...
Doesn't make it not true. 6'7".
People are low IQ. Is that not the most racist thing?
Just to explain, Mehdi, just to explain.
You're dodging me.
This is not your show.
Do you think Somalis are low IQ?
This is not your show.
Okay, I'm going to help him out, and we're going to skip to this right now. We're going to go to Grok in real time, and we're going to show you this for anybody who hasn't seen this. All right? So people are upset because Trump called Somalians low IQ. What is the average IQ of Somalians? Okay? These are the people that are coming into our country with an average unemployment rate of 90%. In Britain, Somalians, I believe, are 7% of the population, and they're committing 70% of the rapes. You can all look this up. The average Somalian IQ is 68, near 67. Okay? Average IQ of a retard. The average retard is below 70 and 75. So yes, I believe people would call retards stupid. And if your average IQ is below 70 and you're being called stupid, it's not really racist. It's kind of just telling the truth. And that might upset you, but it is what it is.
Eddie,
do you think Somalis are low IQ?
You don't get to interview me for half an hour. It's not your show.
People are worried about your silence.
When I come on your show, I haven't been silent about any of these things. You should watch my show more.
Trump calls Somalis low IQ. Is that not a Nazi thing to say? Is that okay? I'm not asking you a question.
It's not a Nazi thing to say. No.
I think
it's not a Nazi thing to say.
It is white supremacist rhetoric to call black people garbage and low IQ.
The problem is,
it's amazing that you're.
He didn't say black people are garbage and low IQ. He said Somalians are stupid, and their average IQ is 68. Bro, just look at statistics. Look at per capita. And it will change your worldview.
Okay, Mehdi,
amazing.
Let's not talk at the same time. No, here's what I'm defending. When people like you on left keep calling Trump a Nazi or comparing him to Adolf Hitler, that is exactly what I'm talking about Trump derangement syndrome.
Yep.
It is so ridiculous, so offensive, so inaccurate. Adolf Hitler and the Nazis murdered 12 million people, including 6 million Jews in a Holocaust. There is zero...
I really think that Adolf Hitler killing somewhere between 276,000 Jews and 6 million Jews is a little bit worse than Trump saying, I think Somalians are stupid and they're hurting our nation when they are, and backed by, statistical evidence, especially with the Somalian daycare scandal that we just exposed from taking millions of dollars. These are people coming into the country, making your life harder every day by refusing to integrate. If you refuse to integrate, then get the fuck out of the country. That goes for here, that goes for UK, that goes for every country. If you have people migrating your country with the sole purpose to make it worse and mooch off the other existing hardworking citizens, get the fuck out of that country. I don't care if it's United States. I don't give a fuck if it's Germany. I don't care if it's the fucking UK. We need to stop having freeloaders go to other countries to make it worse for everybody else. If a white man goes to Africa and fucks up their life, I want the white people deported too. I don't give a fuck what color they are. Get the freeloaders the fuck out, because it's already hard enough to survive in 2026.
Comparison to be made.
Then why are they pumping out Nazi propaganda from the DHS Twitter account?
Because they're not.
Why are they using literal Nazi themes and quoting Nazi books? Do you know that they're doing that? Have you checked that out? Go check it out. I wrote about it. Why are they trying to...
Has he murdered 12 million people?
A man who says...
Yeah, but he said mean things. Hey. This sounds familiar. Yeah, but he said mean things, though. Did you see that he said mean things? He's a Nazi. He needs to be killed.
Why is he? That's not the definition of a Nazi. That means Nick Griffin's not a Nazi because he didn't murder. You know perfectly well, you don't have to be Hitler to have Nazi views. These are Nazi views. When you put someone in front of Congress right now, they're trying...
This is what they've been doing to white people for 81 years. If you're white and you say something mean, they're going to call you a Nazi and they're going to compare you to Hitler because Hitler was mean and he was white, which means everybody who's white and said something mean, now you're Hitler. Welcome to white guilt. It's been holding white people back for almost a century. Almost a century. And white guilt is the reason why in the 1960s, Britain had a white population of 97.7%, and now they have a white population of 35.5%. Because white people are currently the carpet for everybody to walk on, and if you stand up for yourself a single time, you're a fucking Nazi. And that's how they keep you from telling the truth. It's ridiculous.
To confirm someone to the State Department, Piers, who says that we need to...
Sorry, London.
Address the Jewish question, that Jews are victims, that white people are being erased. Are those not Nazi views? Are those not far-right views? Are those not views you want to condemn? This is your friend. You say, Donald Trump is my friend. I'm asking you, Donald Trump, your friend, is friends with Epstein. Donald Trump, your friend, says Somalis are low IQ. I'd like you to condemn that.
Mehdi, I don't have...
I'd like you to condemn statistical facts. Welcome to the left's perspective. And by the way, both these guys are left.
I have to condemn it because I did condemn it when he said it. My team have just sent me the monologue the day after he said it about the Somalis. Do you want to hear what I said the next day?
Sure. Did you call him a racist?
But just as it's absurd and abhorrent to argue that every British Muslim man is a rapist, it's clearly wrong to say that every one of the 116,000 Somalis in the US are thieves or low IQ. That's why many are unhappy with some of the rhetoric pouring from the White House. I did criticize.
I don't hear the word racist there, Piers. Do you not think it's racist to call all black...
This guy gives him exactly what he wants. But because it's not at a high enough temperature, it's not good enough. Holy fucking professional victims. This is crazy. And this is what I mean about the infighting on the left. It's a moral political check for who is the furthest left. Because if you're not the furthest left, then you're an alt-right Nazi.
No, but you didn't call it racist. Of course you criticized it. Did you call it racist? You will refuse to use the R word, I noticed.
I think absurd and abhorrent says it all, Mehdi. You just didn't know I said it, did you?
There it is. So that's the full context, to which Asmongold says he called them low IQ because the average IQ in Somalia is 68, borderline retarded. That's not borderline retarded. That is full-blown retarded. It's not racist. It's a fact. Another pathetic attempt to obscure reality and push a narrative. We have already shown this with statistical backed evidence. To which Hassan says, which hopefully we can find it here, you are an illiterate shut-in for believing this easily disprovable white supremacist cope. Why would it be white supremacist? Wouldn't it just be anti-Somalian? We always love throwing around these words to make ourselves seem so morally virtuous. Your favorite pedophile protecting president has the intellectual capacity of an incident. Oh, and so now we've gone from Donald Trump's a pedophile to now he's a pedophile protector when he was one of the first people to blow the whistle on Jeffrey Epstein. This guy's retarded. And speaking of illiterate, Hassan, if you were to easily just grok this shit or Google this shit or go on any .gov website, it would show you that the Somalian average IQ is 68. Okay? Yes, it's not fucked up to say that Somalians are stupid because it's backed up by evidence. 68 is fucking insane. Anyways, that's another beautiful recap on what's going on in the world, told by yours truly. Hope you'll like, comment, and subscribe, and let's find out what shit I get into, or any of my homies get into, for merely telling the truth. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.